Hello children, welcome to Mitchell's Excellence Program. My name is Banala Jaya Raj, biology textbook writer, and today we will discuss class 6 Mitchell's Integrated Biology textbook. And this book is having 118 pages. And now I am reading the chapters which are there in our Mitchell's Integrated Biology textbook, which is having 118 pages. And first chapter is food and its components. And second one is living organism and their surroundings. And third chapter is getting to know plants. And fourth chapter is this one, body movements. And fifth chapter is garbage in, also garbage out. And glossary is there and index is there. So these are the chapters which are there in our 6th class Mitchell's Integrated Biology textbook. And now we are discussing the third video. In this third video, so we are going to discuss about different types of joints which are present in vertebrate, especially in human beings. So in the first and second video, we discuss the key concepts and body movements and what are the structures which are helpful, which are there in our skeleton system. So we discuss tendons, we discuss the ligaments, we discuss that is bones, and also we discuss and different types of movements in case of human beings. And also we discuss what are the movable joints and what are the immovable joints and what are the bones which are partially moved. And we discuss in that chapter in first video that so different types of joints like hinge joint and ball and socket joint, pivot joint and also fixed joint. And we discuss that different types of locomotory organs in different types of animals briefly, but not in a narrative manner. So here we also discuss how the cell organization, tissue organization, and also organ organization, and also organ system organization, and finally organism. And we also discuss different types of bones which are present in the human body, and they are axial skeleton and also appendicular skeleton. Axial skeleton is with what the skull and also and rib cage and also spine, and appendicular skeleton consists of girdles and also limbs. And we discuss all the what concept in the previous two videos. In this video, in the third video, we are going to discuss about. So here you see joints and their types. So first we need to understand about what are joints. So our skeleton is made up of strong bones, and here the place where the two bones are joined, the place where the two bones are joined, and that place is called as a joint. And here in this topic, in this page, we need to discuss about so what are the joints, how the joints are formed. And here for example we can bend our arm, so here forward and so backward. So and also we can also fold our legs and backside and so forward, but not forward, backside and also, and we enter, we may reach the leg in normal position. So we move the what this elbow in one direction, and I also knee joint also we move in one direction. So here elbow, there you see the presence of a joint. And here if however our arms were long, for example, if this arm is made up of a single bone, we cannot bend. So here uh, for example we need to do an activity. So there you see activity part. So to do this activity we need a wooden plank, a straight what plank which is made up of wooden, and that is as long as our arm. Suppose if you fix the wooden plank below the elbow and tie what this what wooden plank with what some thread, there is a string, and with the help of string we need to tie the wooden plank under the arm. After that, tying the what wooden plank, if you what move the upper arm, it is not possible. Why? Because below the elbow joint and there is a plank, wooden plank. It is a long what structure. It is not make your arm to bend. So if this arm is made up of one what bone, and it is not possible for us to move the what for let this arm. So this is called as the upper arm and this is called lower arm, and we can move our arm like that. So here at this region there is a joint, and that joint make the what our forearm, upper arm and forearm to move what like this, and that joint is called as. So here a joint is a place where the two bones are what joined, and that is called as a joint, and that is called as a joint. In our body there are different types of joints are there, and first one this is called a hinge joint, and second one ball and socket, and pivot joint, and finally you see saddle joint. So like that four types of joints are there in a body, and here this is a hinge joint. So here hinges are there in a door. So here if you want to open the door, you can open the door backward and so forward, but not completely. So you can open the door one side and also again you close the door one side. So here at the what door point you see the presence of hinges, and the hinges make the what door to move backward and so forward, but not completely rotating like this. So that hinges help the what door to move what backward and so forward. In the same way, in our what elbow region also there is a hinge joint which make the bones to move backward, forward, also backward, forward, and also again it came to this to original position. So in the same way, and these hinge joints are present elbow region and also lower jaw, and also here in knee joints. So in knee joints, so these are the places, and also there is phalanges. So these are fingers, and these are the places where we can observe the presence of hinge joints. So here, and this activity is giving what an idea that if at all, if the arm is made up of a single bone, and we cannot move our what forearm like that. So here at this joint there is a what a structure, formation of a structure, and that is called as hinge joint, help the bone to move upward or so backward. So we can move the hand upwards and so same straight way, and that is called as hinge joint. Now the main functional joint is to allow the movement. So what are the main functions of joints? Joints are helping, allowing the movements. So we can move our arms like that, and also we can move our arms like that, and we can move our legs, and that movement is brought by means of the action of these joints. So joint is a place where the two bones are joined, and here bones are joined tough and flexible bands of elastic tissues we already discussed. There are what structures are there in our skeleton system. So first one is tendon, and second one is ligament, and third one is what cartilage, and fourth one is bone. And bones are hard structures, and bones are forming joints, and here the bones are having what connected by means of what tendon. Tendons are tough and strong, what white fiber, and they are made up of collagen fibers, and these collagen fibers are what connecting the bones, helping in the movement of the bones. In the same way, the ligaments are the strong bands, and these bands are present in between the what joints. They make the bones to move. Again, at the end of the joints, at the outer surface of the joints, the edges of the bones are covered by means of a soft tissue that is called as cartilage, and it allows and it prevents frictions. So when the two bones are moving at the joint, at that time they may get friction, and this friction is what is not caused, and here it prevents the frictions of the joint bones by means of the presence of what cartilage. So we discuss what are ligaments, and we discuss what are tendons, and we discuss what is a cartilage and also bone. So these are the components of our skeleton system. Here on the interactive flat panel board you are observing so ligaments and the tendons and so cartilage. So here ligaments they connect the bone to the bone. So here two bones are joined by means of, here you see, so this is one bone, and this is another bone, and these two bones are joined means of what thick bands, and these thick bands are called as ligaments. And again you see, so at the edges of the bone you can see the presence of what a soft tissue, and the soft tissue is called as what cartilage. It prevents friction. Again, here you see the presence of what strong and tough bands and white, and they are called as made up of collagen fibers, and these are called as what ligaments, and these are these are called as tendons. So tendons are the what structure, they connect the muscle with bone, and ligaments are the strong bond. Ligaments are the strong band, they connect the bones, and cartilage is soft tissue that is present on the upper surface of the what two bones. It prevents frictions. So here in this way this structure help the bone to move, and this structure help the movement of our joints. So that is given here, and we need to discuss about different types of joints. So here we have four types of joint in our skeleton system. So our skeleton system consists of four types of joints. So this first one is hinge joint, and second one is ball and socket, and third one is pivot joint, and fourth one is called as fixed joint. So already we discussed our axial skeleton consisting of skull and also rib cage and also backbone. So the skull is made up of 22 bones. Out of 22 bones, 8 bones they form as what is skull, and that prevents what it also protect the what soft tissue that is present in the what skull, a cranium. Here the cranium is formed by means of what 8 bones, they are flat, and the cranium is protecting the soft tissue of the brain, and brain is protected by means of what cranium, and remaining bones they are 14, they called as facial bones. They give what shape to our skull, and here, and these bones are not what move except the what lower jaw, and remaining bones are not what move. So the bones which are there in the skull except the lower jaw, and those bones are called as fixed zones. So we discuss what are fixed zones, and we need to move. We need to discuss about first one. So here you see the first joint is hinge joint. Already I told you hinge. What are hinges? So here a door is fitted. So here by means of hinges, and the hinges allow the door to move what forward and so backwards. We can open the door like that, and also we can close the door like that. So it allows the movement of the door only backward and so forward, but not completely rotating. So that door is fixed with hinges in the same way, elbow region and also knee region, and also here you see lower jaw, and also between the what fingers. So we can see the friends our hinge joints. So here if we open the door, I told you. So here it allows the forward and backward movement of the what joints and also bones, and that joint is called as that bone is that the joint is called as a hinge joint. So this is called as humerus and radius ulna. So here our arm is having what humerus, and two bones are there here what lower arm, and they are called as radius and ulna. And here humerus and radius ulna are having what hinge joint, and it is formed a articular cartilage and joint capsule. And here you see presence of a cup. It should look like that of a hinge, and that is the reason it is called as a hinge joint. So here this is the humerus and these two are radius ulna, and these are fixed at the joint capsule, and they form as hinge of a door, and that joint is called as a hinge joint. So you are observing the description regarding the hinge joint here. So the power, because there is no less danger of twisting at the joint, the elbow, knee, fingers and lower jaw. So where are hinge joints present in our body? Already told you hinge joints are present in elbow region, knee region and also lower jaw and also what fingers. And these are the places where you can observe the presence of hinge joints. And now we need to move to the next page, that is 81 page. So here children, you are observing ball and socket. So one is having a ball like structure and one is having a socket like structure. So ball and socket. So one bone, the edge of the bone is look like that a ball, and here you see it look like a ball, and here is the presence of a socket. So that joint is called as ball and socket joint. And these ball and socket joint generally we observed at this region, pectoral region, also pelvic region, hip joints and shoulder joints. They have what ball and socket, what type of structure, and we can move the joints in many planes. So here these ball and socket joints help in the movement of our hand also legs in many, that is our what a hip region in many planes. So here it is a mobile joint. It allows the movement of bone in many direction. It is also known as the synovial joint. Why? Because at that region we can see the presence of synovial fluid, and one end of the bone is a round shape and another end of the bone is socket type, and thereby bone is fixed in the socket. At the region we can see presence of fluid like structure, that synovial fluid, and also cartilage, and also you can see the presence of ligaments. So that joint is called as ball and socket joint or synovial joint. And it in the hip joint, the large ball like head of the femur fits into the deep socket of the hip girdle. So here we have hip girdle here, and our leg is made up of what long bone, and that is called femur. And below the region, knee region, we can see the present two what bones, tibia and also fibula, and the two bones are joined. Here femur is fixed in the what pelvic girdle by means of what formation of what ball and socket. So hip joint they form a socket at the one end of this femur. It look like the ball, and it form as a ball and socket, and that joint is also called as synovial joint. So these synovial joints are present in shoulder region, also hip region. So two examples are over. So this is ball and socket joint. So we can it allows the movement of the boards in many planes, in many directions. So here we can move our hand like that, and also we can move our hand like that, and forward and so backward in many planes. So here ball and socket joints helps the movement of what joints. And we need to understand a pivot joint. Pivot joint is present where the skull is what fit on the neck. So here in this region, we can see the presence of our pivot joint, and it allows the movement of our what head like that. Head like that. We can rotate. And we can move our head forward or backward. And this joint is called as pivot joint. Here in a pivot joint, the bony ring rotates around a pivot axis, and this allows the twisting movement about the joint. It allows the movement in all direction. It allows the movement in all direction.